Hello,
Uh-huh.
everyone, and welcome
Hello,
back.
everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the Indie-Credible podcast. I'm one of your
Whoa.
I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scully, and joined with me is the moving man,
Moving
Mister
man.
Mister Jeff. What's up, Jeff?
What's going on? I have been, yeah, as last episode, y'all knew I was moving to Colorado. I'm in Colorado now, and I am in the basement of treasures and treats, as you can see. This is literally all I just brought with me in the truck, and like the house isn't here yet, so I am sitting on the only stool that I have.
I mean, you could sit on the Mortal Kombat thing in the background. It's big enough. I
It is the
mean,
size of a stool, man. It is the size of a stool. But yeah, that being said, like I am out of it because don't have my normal means. Like everything's we just got internet last night, so don't have my normal means of checking into things. So I actually gotta like locate our working document.
Oh, that's all good. I got you. I got you covered. I got our
Yeah,
little I got our little docket up because yeah, I knew like it was going to be a crazy week. I knew there was a lot going on and
always, man.
always.
Always. And so like the interesting thing here, the moving. So like the internet here should be good. So I should be able to record here in the basement and be great. And this basement is going to be like a 80s and 90s retro museum when I get done
Oh,
with it. It's going to be freaking wild.
it looks
We're already
awesome.
talking like right up here above me. I need to put some treats and I got like and it's got built-ins, it's got all the things. It'll be a great trial for my final house once I'm out of the military. So this is gonna be a good time. But the move was interesting to say the least.
Oh yeah.
Cause after we had talked, I had to get my house like packed up, moved, and then drive 9, 10 hours north to get out here. And so the move was fine. Like the movers came, they packed their stuff up. They were pretty safe about it, which is good because that's hit or miss, honestly.
Yeah.
I had pre-packed up all the important stuff, the stuff I care about into my truck, so into my wife's Jeep. And then they came moving day. They showed up like 8 hours late to pack the truck on the moving day. And then they got it done in like 3 or 4 hours, which was nice. So
Mm.
it wasn't bad. I was there with them, so and like they were crazy. They were that must be how they do it, which is different than most, but it was cool. And then so drove up. And so driving up, my daughter said she wanted to check out some places.
Mhm.
And I said, "Well, you give me the locations, otherwise I'm going to pick the places." And it was fun because she got me nothing. And so guess what I did, Xander? I mapped out all the interesting retro game stores from here, from El Paso up to Denver.
Oh, a little
Yeah.
map.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. And I will say that out in the cut, the retro game stores, they didn't make it. Because so we mapped out a couple on the way up, and initially we were gonna stay in Las Vegas, New
Mhm.
Mexico, not Nevada, New Mexico. And we got there super early, but so as driving up north, we just drove the straightest way. We stopped in Alamogordo, which is near White Sands, New Mexico, and Alamogordo has a retro game store. Went to the retro game store. Go there. I sent you a picture of it. It says we're closed for inventory today,
Yeah,
and like
of all times. I'm like,
they
damn.
were closed the day before, so they must like the owners must not be running the place, and it must be like employees, and then the employees got to do their own like they must have other people do all the stuff because there's
Mhm.
literally somebody in there sitting at the register, and I was like knocking on the door, and they didn't even look, and I'm like, I just drove like 2 hours to get there, and nothing. So
That's crazy.
and then like it was around lunchtime at that point. So I asked my daughter what she wanted. Wanted to go to Blake's Lotta Burger. And when I was like, okay, cool. So we go there. She's like, do you know why I want to eat here? Because it's one of the worst burger places in America. And it was on like a YouTube video. I'm like, damn
I
it.
want to
I'm like,
eat
I want
really bad
some.
food, Dad.
Well, because like when I go to a place, like I have a weird gluten allergy where my throat closes if I eat bread. So I got to order the burgers like crap. Like it has to be just the patty and all the stuff. So it was the worst thing ever. And then she tried the fries and they were terrible.
Oh
Now
my
apparently the
gosh.
the hatch chili burger is good, but she didn't tell me that before I ordered. So I got like a little burger thing and it was terrible. Like if I would have got the hatch chili, apparently it would have been okay. So
That's
I
funny.
messed that up. So, but that place was a bust. My daughter didn't like that it looked like a desolate desert town because that's literally what it was, a desolate desert town. And so that place was a bust. So we go up, we're driving up north. There were no other game stores until Las Vegas.
Mm.
And Las Vegas, New Mexico was going to be where we stopped for the night, but we when we got in town, it was like 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, 2:30. It wasn't that bad. So we stopped at this game store and it was like game players with a Z because they're edgy. And so we go up
Strange.
there. We go up there and it's like fronts of a thing. And I was like, oh, look, it says Xbox and PlayStation in the window. Cool. We walk up. That place looked deserted as hell. My daughter said she swears that there was like a hole in the wall somewhere that somebody had kicked in. And like, we were like,
Wow.
and it was 0 for 2. Um, So then I coordinated with my wife, and we decided that we were just gonna drive up to Colorado Springs because we could be up there by like 7 or 8 p.m. And because it was still a far drive to get up there, but that would like kill our drive, and we'd have like nothing the next day. So we could go around Colorado Springs. The only other game store was like in between, would be closed about 30 minutes after we would get there. So we decided to just nix that one. We drove up to
Yeah.
Colorado Springs. I went to a brewery that was within walking distance of the Drury Inn there, which was nice. The Drury Inn was nice. They have a good like workout facilities and stuff, which is cool.
Hmm.
We missed all the free food and booze though that they do there at night.
Uh,
It closes at 7 and we got there at 8. So I was like, damn. So
no
we missed
happy
all the
hour.
free food. No happy hour. So
Ah, damn.
um so we ended up tooling around Colorado Springs, which was cool. We stopped two of the places though, because we were there on a Tuesday. Two of the places are closed Monday and Tuesday. And so there was like one game store, it was closed on the Tuesday. I look at another one's closed. So we decided to go to this place called like Midnight Games. And you walk
Hmm.
in, badass place.
It
Like it
sounds
was
badass.
yeah,
Midnight Games.
it was like this, a normal giant classic retro game store, had everything packed to the gills, retro consoles in box on the ceiling, which is a good sign. Every single system was represented with some games. And according to the employees, which they were cool as shit too, the owner, if you need something and you're out in that area, you're from that area, he will find it for you too. So
Oh,
he
that's
just,
great.
yeah, like he'd be
That's
like,
great.
hey, so I was like, tell, because they had like two Turbo Graphics games. So I'm like, tell him that guy came in and said your Turbo Graphics selection was paltry. That's what I tell him.
Poultry.
Like, paltry Turbo Graphics. But because I am going to do a Retroseum book chronologing, I think I messed it up last
Words.
episode too. Episode two. But actually, capturing everything that I have collected over the years, including, Kyle's Retroseum book, essentially. I feel like that I wanted to get an item there. So they actually had a copy of a game called Turtles. And
Okay.
Turtles is like Frogger, but it was a handheld, self-sustained, self-contained electromechanic one of the old 80s ones. So
Oh
it's like one of the
wow.
ones with the flashy lights. I got a flashy light version of Turtles.
Okay.
There is, an NES game that was ported called Tortoises. That is, they did port Turtles to the NES for a homebrew,
Oh, okay.
which is
Yeah, I played Tortoise. That it's a fun
yeah.
game. It's
So
fun.
Turtles is the original one, it's Midway, I think, but it is the arcade version. And I thought that was cool as hell. It was like 30 bucks, super cool. And just watching though my daughter look around and she's like, I want to have games in my room now. I'm like, yes. God. And the people there were so cool. And it did smell like nostalgia in there because we were in Colorado at this point. It smelled like nostalgia in there. Pretty sure guys were coming by and they all go in the back and come out a little red-eyed, pink-eyed each time. But I was like, it's completely legal out here, so I don't
It's
know.
blast processing, man. They were playing Sega Genesis.
Last, but they had a lot of boxed games there too, and they had Switch and indie games. And so I was
Ooh,
talking indie games with the guys too, since we do the indie thing, and I published a bunch of indie stuff too. So I thought that was cool.
yeah.
Went to that place that was awesome. While we were in there, it was started to rain, which was interesting because we hadn't seen rain in a year because of El Paso. And so we go to the next place, and we went to a place. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, and because I think it's only local to this area. Entertain Mart.
I've heard of it on podcasts, but I've never been to one. But I've heard of the
Oh,
entertainment. Yeah.
holy shit! So we get there, and we apparently are at the biggest one that they have. Like, and the
Wow.
thing is, like, they cleared out a Target and filled it up with retro games and records and cassettes and everything, laser discs, the whole thing. And London was looking for patches, and we did find some
Yeah.
patches, but she chose some Star Wars pins instead. But
Yeah.
and I got a Cyberpunk, which I think's not here, but I got a Cyberpunk little Kaniku Man, Muscle Man figures that, and they're $1. So
Oh shit.
I was like, yeah, and I got my wife Carmen San Diego, which they released a new Carmen San Diego for Switch. I got it to her for Switch. But
Nice.
I thought that was cool as hell. There's apparently one up here where I live too, but it's in the mall, so it's a little bit smaller, but apparently it's like all over Colorado. I don't know how far it reaches, but Entertain Mart was awesome. But it was raining, and when we went out, the whole things were flooded. My daughter's wearing Crocs, and I'm wearing flip-flops, and got feet
Uh
got soaked. And hilariously. And afterward, it started to hail out here, and we're mid-June. It was
oh
hailing. Like there
shit.
was this big hail hitting my car or my truck as I'm driving. Luckily, they weren't hard because they were like exploding on the car. But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap! I'm gonna have to find some kind of like protectant for that for my truck. But like, yeah. So I got a Cyberpunk set of figures, and because I did find Cyberpunk on the Switch while I was moving too. Actually, that is right here. I did find Cyberpunk on
Oh
the Switch
nice.
physical, so that's cool. Switch 2. Um, but I got that, and then that Turtles arcade looking handheld, which I thought was dope. That was my adventures. What have you been up to over the week? Have you been doing anything
Man,
crazy?
nothing that compares to this adventure, that's for sure.
I am.
'Cause
I'm always doing some crazy shit,
yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
Like
I just
it's
just been working and trying to check out some games. I know today, as we're recording, there was a Nintendo Direct for the new Donkey Kong Bonanza. So
I'm excited for that game.
I haven't
I'm
had
excited for it.
me too. I haven't had a chance to watch the Direct fully, but
Me neither.
I'm excited. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch the Direct, to be honest. I think when I get my Switch 2, I'm gonna go into Donkey Kong Bonanza completely blind. Because I don't
Now,
really go on social media that much. I'm just gonna go in there blind.
Now, where I'm excited for the Switch 2, because we had already talked this, we did Switch 2 thing. We already talked
Yeah.
about, we did a Switch Mania playcast. We talked about where we got and all that. Now, because we're only doing one of those suckers, guys, and I haven't even posted it yet, so I don't even know if people want more, Xander. So we'll
Yeah.
find out. But we could talk about it at the beginning of these. Now, where I'm excited for the Switch 2, which was unexpected, and I kind of saved this, we haven't really talked about this offline. Um, it makes every single Switch 1 game better. That
That's what I've been
is the
hearing.
fucking surprise. So because it does that, the Switch 2 is cool as shit because now I can play Lego City Undercover that has torrid loading times and all it makes it perfect. It is not going to fix everything for every game. There's videos and YouTubers that cover like
Yeah.
there's like, oh, this one might need a patch, this one, and the developers are working on patches for certain ones. But for like 95% of the damn games, you plug it in and now it's running 60 frames per second or the locked 30 if it was a locked 30. So like they
Yeah.
all play great. And I'm like, shit, now I'm gonna have to play all my old games because there's games that I didn't quite enjoy. And I'm like, well, maybe it's awesome now. And I'll
Yeah.
play it and it's gonna give me a new experience. Maybe I was put off on a game because I didn't quite enjoy it because it was glitchy or something, or because the Switch One couldn't handle it. And now if I pop it into my two, it's gonna work great.
Yeah.
And handheld's different from docks. So as soon as I get the basement set up, I'm gonna have a TV up on the wall mounted. There's already a TV wall mount there, so that way I could plug in my Switch 2 to it, so I could play it in 4K because I got a 4K TV.
Yeah.
And dude, it might be the game changing thing for the Switch 2 versus it has no brand new games because I mean we're at the beginning of a new console.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that really makes me excited about, because to me it's that's the update that I've been waiting for with Switch. And because
Switch Pro,
yeah.
Switch Pro. This
That's
could
what
have
we've
been
been
called the
wanting.
Switch Pro, and I would have been cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yep.
it's it's really really cool. I did watch some videos where like the load times were a lot faster. So
Yeah. Load times, frames per second, all the different graphical things. And it's basically, it depended on how they had ported and programmed the game for Switch
yeah.
is how it benefits from it. So if they hadn't programmed it correctly, then it may not see the updates, but if they do a patch, it will. So,
Mhm.
like, that's where it takes the patch. But I'm just like excited that a lot of these work great. I know that all of the games I released with premium, plug and play, hop right in. I loaded up Robot Aim 5, popped up, great, plays flawlessly, and has my little premium jingle on it because my initial games, I got the premium jingle on them. That's how you know it's a Jeff era game because I got my little jingle on there. And that jingle was made by Dan from Console Wars, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I keep everything like I am the freaking hipster artist of the retro community here because like I paint my own shit. I make my own books with crazy ass quality and options. And then when I did games, like I kept it tight knit with us with artists and creators.
I do have something that's indie that I can mention that's going to be kind of fun. Because I have a friend,
Yes.
I have a friend
Yes.
of mine. Because I had to make sure the game was indie. I just did a Google search. I want to make sure it was an indie game I'm talking about. But I have a friend in China. Okay,
Ah.
okay. She,
Oh.
yeah, she's learning English. Like she knows English a little bit. But we play Animal Crossing. We were playing Animal Crossing. And that was fun. And I was like, I want us to find a game that we can play together. So the game I thought about was It Takes Two. Great co-op, platforming puzzle game. I'm like, It Takes Two, that'd be great. So I told her about it. And she's like, Oh, I bought that game like last month. I haven't opened it. She's like, I found out it was a two-player game and I haven't played it yet. And I'm like, well, now I'm gonna have to buy the game. So I'll be talking about that. And it's gonna be interesting because not only are we gonna be playing this game together, but there is a language barrier. And thank goodness for like translation apps and stuff like that. Because we're like going into this almost like hardly able to communicate. This is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, and like you and I have the no excuses barrier where we just never get it done. You and I could have been playing. We need to play some co-op indie games. There are some out there.
Yes.
Like in
Yes.
reality, like we both need to like create a list of the indie games that have two-player online co-op that we can play, and then we just fucking do it on a weekend or something when we're
Yeah.
drinking or whatever. Because like half the time I'm chilling watching a movie or doing whatever. I could literally now I can come down to the basement and fire up
Yeah.
the console and just fucking play.
And
Or
then
I could sit anywhere. Like,
it'll add more to the show too, because especially if we were talking about some of the games that we're playing in the like on the horizon or something like that, for an
yeah,
example. We can use that for B-roll. We can like talk about it because we both played it and we know how the co-op is, obviously. Because I know that's always something we try to bring up in the
yeah.
show if it has co-op, local or online.
And so yeah, because that all it is it gives cool stories. It'll be the same when you play It Takes Two. It's going to be a cool ass story. It'll be a fun
Yeah.
experience. Even if it fails completely, it's a cool ass story. Just like cool ass story of going to these game stores that were fucking closed.
Yeah.
Like it's still a cool story. And speaking of me being brain dumping and not being able to figure out things, what was the randomizer game I was supposed to play from last week? Because I played it, but I didn't write down anything on it.
Give me one moment because
I was supposed to play something, Xander, and when I hit it, I usually play it immediately, so that way I don't forget to play it. And I knew I was moving right after two, so I know I had to like play it real fast. I know I only played it a little bit though, but can't remember the game's name, and my Steam Deck is upstairs charging because it was dead. I didn't use the Steam Deck the whole travel; it was just sitting in notes.
let's see. I'm
Uh-oh.
looking at the show
Do
notes.
do do do. Do 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 do
Huh.
do. Bum 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 bum. We did not write it down, or did we? Xander, we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm looking at the last week's show notes, and I'm seeing a lot of game titles that don't ring a bell.
Yeah, it
We
would have been
talked
at the
about them.
very end. It would have been at the
Yeah.
very end that we did the randomizer,
Was it
and
the Citadel, the Awakened Spirit?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it was, and if it was, I didn't play. I might have failed
Well,
it. Eh,
what was the game that you played? Or you can't remember
Um,
the name of it?
no, I can't remember the name. I just wrote randomizer game with an exclamation in our notes because I have the notes open. And I didn't write the actual title, and I'm like, I don't remember if I like. I don't remember the title. I don't remember the experience. So it like has to trigger a memory. But I did play a game. So I do have an indie game that I played. And I played it last night, and it's fucking amazing. And we covered it last week or the week before. I can't remember. I played Pipistrello.
Oh yeah, what'd you think?
So Pipistrello, I'm probably saying it wrong. It's the cursed yo-yo game. Um,
Yeah,
I think I am going to play through the whole game
it's
because I
good.
I fucking started it up. You get to go like through the little mansion a little bit to find your aunt or whatever, and you get to get used to the controls. Super simple, like shoot out the freaking yo-yo and jump a little bit, and you can like hit these little banks to like hit enemies and stuff and collect lots of coins. And you get to the end, you fall into the abyss, and then starts the actual game. And I already got my first power up, which was the throw the yo-yo. So now I could throw the yo-yo, and your aunt becomes the yo-yo essentially. So you're throwing your aunt across and doing more puzzles. And it just I got through the whole first section, and it was good as shit.
Well, let me ask you because I remember we were both kind of like wondering, is it a Metroidvania? Like, would you say it's a
I
Metroidvania?
I would say it has Metroidvania elements. I
Hmm.
don't know at this point because I've only put in like an hour maybe. I
Hmm.
don't know if there is ways to go back to old locations or not. Because I know went down into this little hole when I got through the first section, which was like the tutorial basically. But
Hmm.
you go into a hole and you get to your base. And once you're in your base, you can go back up. So I don't know if when you go back down, if you can like choose or you can warp around. If you can do that, then it does have the Metroidvania elements to it of exploration. I still consider that more of an action RPG trope with some Metroidvania aspects
Yeah,
because and now the Metroidvania guru who I've interviewed before over on the other podcast, video game bullshit, like you, around the
yeah.
same time we did yours. But he says that anything with elements is a Metroidvania. I say that there's different genres, and a Metroidvania has to be a 2D side-scrolling platformer of some sorts. So nice. I
Interesting.
nobody saw that on the actual audio because they can't see her here. Xander's over
Yeah.
there. The microphone did its
Yeah,
thing.
I just yanked the arm off my microphone, but
That's
yeah,
funny.
I've put about probably around the same amount of time, but it's a good game. Like I definitely want to.
Yeah.
It's so much polish to it, and I think that yo-yo mechanic's going to add so
Oh,
much playability that's going to just keep us wanting to keep
well,
playing.
and it's super tight. It's very good controls. And I did notice, and I don't know if did you mess with the settings at all?
Like the CRT
Because
settings.
just the settings in general. Because as soon as I go to a game, especially
Hmm.
an indie title, I jump into the settings just to see what's available. There's accessibility settings and there's difficulty modifications. So you can make your character stronger if you want and make the enemies weaker. So if you
Oh,
were like are a beginner and want to play it or just want to freaking enjoy it, you can
yeah,
literally modify things. So I messed around with modifiers and like you can literally kill all the enemies with like basically a hit, which is crazy.
that is
Um,
crazy.
what I don't like is if the game is too much of a slog and it takes too long to kill enemies on a screen to move on. So I like to like progress fast. So I'm gonna make my character at least attack a little harder when
Yeah,
I play through the game. But I'm probably not gonna mess with anything else. But why you might as well if they put it in there, like just mess
yeah.
around with
Why
stuff,
not?
have fun, enjoy the game, and I super enjoy it the way that I had it, which is just it gives more damage. And there's I did get one badge which reveals the HP, so I haven't got any other
Mhm.
badges yet, but I assume that it just opens up. There's tons of badges. The game seems huge, and
Yeah, it does.
I didn't play Breath of the Wild or anything else like I said I would during the travels. I literally worked on my TurboGrafx 16 book, so
Ah, oh
I
well.
had fun with that. I was just chilling. Um, But yeah, like it's at Pipistrello or whatever. It's awesome. I highly, highly recommend it. It's my game, one of my games of the year. Like it'll be in there. It'll be in that pocket right now for sure. I gotta remember because I haven't been writing them down this year, so I have to
Yeah.
look at the podcast notes for that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's on my wish list. Like I'm gonna get it. Like that the Steam summer sale's right around the corner as we record
Yeah.
this.
What is
Um
it?
I believe it starts on the 20th, so it's like in 2 days.
Well, and I actually did add a game that popped up in the notes under the budget section, which we could cover that since there's only one, the budget section. And
Oh
before we
yeah.
go to the new nowhere, unless you played something, Xander, did you play anything crazy? Because sometimes
Ah.
you surprise me and you play a fuck ton.
Yeah. Not this week. I didn't play a whole lot this week. I played mostly Animal Crossing and Retro. That's what I did this week. 'Cause I
Well,
was
and all I have to say is apparently Animal Crossing loads tons faster on Switch too.
yes, it
Dude,
does.
so
It
I don't
does.
want to tell my wife that yet because I might lose my Switch 2 again, and I don't really want. I can't really afford a second Switch 2 when she steals it. So,
But yeah, I think we should start because usually we start with the new noteworthy. Let's start with the budget for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do it. And it's what Resurrection of Mind.
Yeah, very interesting game. Now I will say the one interesting thing is there's no video. It's all gameplay. But the gameplay, I'm pretty sure there's a video of it on YouTube I'll probably use for the B-roll, but it looks like a almost like a 2D Tomb Raider. Like the character
Yeah.
design kind of has that look to it.
Well,
Um
and I mean, hell, the art has basically Laura Croft with some scantily clad boobage going on as the main
yeah.
cover, but the actual character you play through looks like a buffed up jail dude. It does not look like her. So, it's a Metroidvania with an intriguing narrative about three heroes, and unique combat system. So I assume that the Jailbird's one of the heroes, and then old Laura Croft knockoff's another. It is on sale for $1.59. A
Yep.
dollar 59. And it looks like the third character is a nerdy dude. So yeah, there's the jail. Yeah, the jail guy. Zendaya. Her name is Zendaya. The antiquities hunter. Very, very non-Tomb Raidery. And
Oh
then you got
yeah.
your nerd. And but yeah, like the game looks like a fun romp. Usually when they drop down to a buck, probably not the best indicator that it's quality. And the art looks like it could be hit or miss. So the one thing I'll be interested to see is how does the gameplay stack up? Because
Yeah.
that's what's going to make it. It's the gameplay loop. Because when you jump into these, either it's going to be like Pipistrello, where it's tight as shit, everything is flawless, there's great animation, everything, or you pop in and it feels like it could be a mobile flash animation game. And
Yeah.
because the game, the screenshots look cool, it looks well done. I
But how's
bought
the
it.
movement? Yeah,
I
how's the
bought it, but I
movement?
haven't I haven't fired it up yet. So I mean, like I never do unless we hit it on a randomizer. So
Yeah,
yeah.
the main thing is the movement for me. Like it cuz yeah, you were talking about like the flash kind of games, like there's a certain kind of movement that the game those budget games they just had that like
Slide, they're like slide and almost
yeah,
some
it's
move
just
slide.
but a dollar 50. I mean, if
I
you
will test anything under $2. You got me, guys. You developers, y'all got me.
and who
Um,
knows? Who knows? I mean, it could be like a really amazing game that's like, why aren't people
yeah.
playing, Resurrection of Mind? Very
Well, and if
interesting
there's
name.
ever a week that they don't do a like 20% off, like it was a $10 game that's under two, I will start buying the other under $2 games that are like $5 and now they're two.
Yeah.
Because anything under $2 is what we cover here, and I still have a bunch of my wish list that I haven't purchased, and there's just games that are $1.99. I haven't purchased those either,
Mhm.
but I've been waiting because all these games pop up on sale all the time, and new stuff comes out with demos and great. I always forward you the demos too, but
Yeah.
it's like there's so many though. It's overwhelming how many awesome indie games, potentially awesome indie games, and there is one other one that popped up, and actually this should have went at the beginning. Sarimaru
That's
launched
right.
Ninja Cat. on the TurboGrafx CD, PC Engine CD, and it's on Kickstarter. I was like one of the first ones to back it because support my boy Saru. He's the cover for my Super Nintendo book, but he's also a really cool dude.
Yeah.
And FX Yuki's awesome. It is a perfect example of where the animation and everything work really well. I do prefer it on Sega Genesis, which drives him nuts because he's the PC Engine dude. I prefer FX Yuki on the Genesis though. It just feels tighter on the controller.
Yeah.
Um, but I 100% will support Ninja Cat. It's like a single screen arcade style game where you like go from level to level doing crazy shit with cats, ninja cats.
Yeah. Who doesn't like that?
Exactly. And if you get it on the Kickstarter, there's actually a higher tier, more expensive tier where you can get yourself drawn as a ninja cat by
That's pretty
Saru. So
cool.
hilarious.
Yeah, the art style is really cool. It made me think of Samurai Pizza Cats. It's got that kind of look to
100%.
it. Yeah, it's got that look. Love
Right,
it.
pizza cats.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and yeah, he does have a cool ass art box version too, like a gem box or something that he calls it. That's the higher tier. He does those. I missed the one from FX Yuki just because I was probably saving for the Switch 2 or something at the time. Once they got a sale, he doesn't do anymore. So the treasure box type thing. I definitely wanna interested in getting the treasure box this time. I think I'll have to upgrade mine, but the CIB one's like it's pretty affordable. So.
Yeah.
Definitely support the indie devs and that hopefully it'll be ported to Steam too later.
Yeah.
Then
And
play
and
that over there.
uh and for the listeners, FX Unit Yuki is also on Switch. So
Yes.
for those
Yes.
that are listening and saw the gameplay footage, you're like, I don't have a Genesis or a TurboGrafx. Well, you got a Switch. Yeah.
Still publishing, that would be a game I would publish physically on Switch, just because we actually had a conversation at Midwest Gaming Classic where I was with JP Switchmania, who I started Premium with, and him. We were all sharing a room. We said, I'm going to figure out how to publish and we'll publish your game. And we were all joking at the time. And
Yeah.
fast forward to like 1 or 2 years later, and I was able to publish and he was able to get it ported. And we just never made the stars align while I was still publishing.
Ah, it happens.
All good though. All good though. Let's move on though and not get sidetracked from we're done with the budget though. So that was new
Yeah.
and noteworthy. That was new and noteworthy. So we transitioned to new and noteworthy without
There
even
you-
trying. That's how good we are. Because that is new and it is noteworthy.
It
Um
is. It is.
yeah, Ninja Cat. Uh Definitely support Saru.
And this game right here,
Mm.
I was like, dude, this looks fun. I love these kind of games. These like arcade, kind of revamped style looking games. This is Galactic Glitch. It's a arcade roguelike, very old school. Kind of makes me think of games like Geometry Wars or Rezo Gun on PS4. Just that really like symmetrical arcade, colorful kind of game. I thought it looked really, really cool.
It does look awesome. And like watching the videos and stuff. I like how you circle stuff because I am looking for a spiritual successor to Gyrus or Gyrius for the
Mm,
NES. Arcade first, but the NES one's the one that I played the most, and it had the music that.
yeah.
So I'm just looking for another one to give me those feels. So even if it has like subtle feels where you can circle and kill stuff and you warp in the middle or something, just even at one level, I will be like, all right. Put me in,
Yeah.
coach. I'm ready to go. Because Galactic Glitch looks badass. The like you said, Geometry Wars, that's the neons that you're seeing in
Yeah.
this gameplay.
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
Almost like
So cool.
almost like Vector, like kind of Vector like. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I'm looking to see if this developer's done anything else. And they've done some games. Nothing that I've heard of though, but there are games out there. There's some free to plays.
Oh,
So there is a prologue for Galactic Glitch that's free to play because this game is $15. So you can actually play the prologue. And if you like it, then you can support to get the full game. So that's always cool. I love when developers do that. And then there is a game called Crystal Flash, which is lane battles and deck building, and Rise of Legions, which is a strategy deck building game. Both of those are free to play. And then their first game that they have is called 3030 Death Ward Deluxe, a space
this
odyssey.
game look this game looks pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
33 Death Row War looks. It looks very like asteroids kind of.
Oh, that does look interesting. So yeah, they have their little style here though, because this also has the same deal where it's like the aesthetics of the Geometry Wars that we were talking about. And so that's pretty dope. And so I'm trying out a way today since I don't have my traditional iPad thing or whatever it was, that little Android tablet. I'm
Yeah.
actually using my Legion Go here, and I can actually go on Steam and wishlist stuff as we're on the episode. So I'm gonna like
Oh, that's
save myself
great.
so much time. This is great. Just an overpowered PC that I can literally move around. So that's cool. But yeah, so Galactic Glitch though, the developer has a few games there. It's Crunchy Leaf Games, so that's
Mm.
pretty cool. Pretty cool. And is there anything else noteworthy? Because you got some physical combat in here too. Like it's like a twin stick roguelike shooter.
Yeah, yeah, I've added it to my wish list. I'm like, I gotta play it.
Yeah. I mean, it says you craft a build for every run, which to me, that's your roguelike, where you literally figure out how the portions of the game work. And then as you get like your options, which it looks like it pops up in like a little wheel to get like little
Mhm.
power ups. As you get your little wheel power up, you kind of figure out what works well together to make yourself overpowered, OP, as it may be, as you will. Yeah, it's in my wish list too, and as soon as it pops down on sale, we'll let you know if it's in our budget section too. Because yeah, it looks cool as shit though.
Yeah, and this next game was kind of dancing the thin line of between budget and new and noteworthy because it's
Mhm.
3.99. But
Oh,
yeah, it's kind of neutral, you know. But
yeah.
Berserk or Die is a very interesting hack and slash game because it doesn't use a controller. You have to use your keyboard and you
And
essentially
the mouse, and the mouse. I'm actually doing things because, like, if you watch the trailer, it's like you do this.
yeah,
What the heck does it do, Xander? I'm confused.
you have to like almost like smash your hands on the keyboard. It's weird. Like the button combinations very strange.
So let's take us back to a time in the Commodore 64 era where you had to run and wiggle the joystick and break your joystick to run, or on the N64 where you had to twist the
Yeah.
analog stick, and now you're gonna break your keyboard.
Well, it also made me think of, and it's funny because the shirt I'm wearing, the original Street Fighter, the controller had those two big buttons that you'd have to hit. That's what it makes you think of.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I have giant NES ones that came with with my keyboard.
yeah, yep.
Dude, that would be awesome if I could
Oh,
do like I could be like ah.
that would be cool.
If
That would be
that's
cool.
compatible, like that is freaking dope. Like I will 100% buy this game just for that. I did notice something in the trailer though. It showed the Vampire Survivors character at the end.
Yeah.
Is that because it's by the same creators as Vampire Survivors? You know what the
Let me
answer
see.
is? The answer is
Uh,
yes.
oh, it is.
This is by
Oh,
the
wow.
same developers as Vampire Survivors. And I didn't even know that when I put it up here. I just thought it looked badass. And
Oh,
yeah, this
wow.
so this is by Poncle, Poncle Games, and I assume Poncle Games is the digital publisher of Vampire Survivors, and maybe not necessarily the developer. The reason why I say that is not Neo Games is the one that developed it, and Neo Games it defaults to Poncle. Poncle
Hmm.
is the publisher, so assumption is that Poncle did develop Vampire Survivors and they just think that this game's fucking cool and decide to put their might behind it.
That's pretty cool. It
That's the
does
assumption.
say the unique combat controls. It says the game's definitive feature is the keyboard banging controls, which makes the battles more thrilling. The more buttons pressed, the wider the attack range. That's interesting.
My little
So
double buttons wouldn't work.
no,
Damn.
dang. But
It's like,
it does say gamepads are also supported. So uh,
hmm.
I started out wrong saying you had to use a keyboard. they want you to use the keyboard for its unique play style, but
Now,
you can
let me
use the
think
gamepad.
super crazy. Can we connect the Rock Band guitar and use the keys so we can play keys to and hit the whammy for the mouse, like wah 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 wah, and guitar, man.
That
That
would
would
be
be
cool.
dope. That would be dope.
Now, this game here was simple. I thought it looked like a really simple game, but it's got some
Yeah.
art to it. It's got some flavor to it. This is cow Kaodi, or I mean I'm saying it completely wrong. Kaodi.
Audi or KOD? KOD.
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 It's samurai hack and slash game though.
Yeah. So narrative driven 2D platformer. And I mean, it looks pretty damn cool. It's black and white aesthetics, which immediately stick out, and it's pixel art, which I always am drawn to. Um, is there anything unique though? Because there's like different combat and platforming that it does talk about, but it's not, it's super simple from the description, so it doesn't have a whole lot of, depth to it.
Yeah, I watched
There's,
that. I watched the trailer. It was simple. It looked nice, but it was simple.
yeah. The developer has one other game called Furballer that is free. Furballer is free, so I will be adding that to my wish list so that way I can purchase that. That's what we got to do. That's why we mention all the other stuff, so that way you can put this stuff on your wish list and support these developers. Outlander Games is the developer, though, and essentially, it looks like the pacing might be a little slower paced, though,
Yeah,
for it. But at for an $8 game, not too badly priced,
and there is a
and
demo. You can
yeah,
download the demo. So
that
test it
is
out.
true. Dude, this next one, I think I've been waiting for it for a while.
Ooh, yes. This next one, it's made by trying to remember the name of the folks that
Freak
did the game.
Zone. Freak Zone Games.
Yeah, because these folks they were behind like AVGN and Night Terrors, which is one of my
That's what it
favorites.
is. And it was released on the NES, correct? And ported? Or am I
Mm,
crazy? Or am I crazy? Maybe not. Because it looks like an NES game.
yeah,
Just from all the aesthetics, the colors. There looks like there's too many colors going on to be actual NES, but definitely, yeah, I mean, I can see the AVGN inspirations going on with the AVGN platformer games.
yeah. It's got
Yeah.
that feel to it.
They had also done, and they don't actually have AVGN on their Steam things, but they do have the Rocky Horror Show video game, Terror in the
Mm.
Corn, and Frankie Frico, that is coming soon.
Oh,
So
interesting.
these are all 2D style platformers. They all look like, or maybe it's not on my list because I already own it, because the way that my list works is it actually doesn't show up if I already have it in my wish list. So that is going to be interesting going forward.
Yeah, apparently this was an adaptation of a terrible movie, apparently. But it's
Oh, no,
Manos.
yeah, that's what I know it from because I have it on my Svengoolie games. Like Svengoolie movies, Manos was covered by Svengoolie. Check the developer and see if they did do AVG. I'm pretty sure they did, and it's just not showing because
Oh
my wish
yeah.
list shows
Yeah,
free.
it's
There we go.
like yeah,
They
it's
did.
like the
They did.
first yeah.
So if I look at the publisher, it goes to my wish list. If I look at the developer, it shows everything.
Ah,
Spectacular Sparky, Night Terrors, but with a night
it's
KNIGHT.
a good endless runner. It's really fun.
Is it cool shit?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have. So I added all their stuff to my wish list, as you all should. Manos looks cool as hell, though. And I like that they're doing platformers based off of likely easy to obtain intellectual properties or free
Hmm.
to. Because this one, Manos Hand of Fate, if I'm sure, it's probably in the same like open source thing like a Night of the Living Dead. So.
Yeah.
I think that's cool as shit that they did that. That's badass. And the fact that they did AVGN, we know that at least that the controls are tight. So
Yeah.
Manos at $4 too. Jeez.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah.
this next game, the last game on our new and noteworthy,
Yeah.
uh, made me realize the Nintendo DS has nostalgia, and the Nintendo DS is probably like this because I saw it and I'm like, what? Because it was
Oh,
like, you,
100%. I just saw it on the video.
yeah,
Holy
and it was
shit.
just like, this is a retro handheld, game based off of this. But the Dead Seat D, I was about to say DS. The Dead Seat is what the game's called.
Yes.
Yeah, this game looks cool
That's
though.
cool. Yeah, like, and the thing is that like I don't always put every game that I find on the show notes. Like they're not all there. I pick the ones that are like interesting. And I thought this was
Yeah,
super interesting because like we would be here all freaking day. We'd have like 20 games a week. And instead we go to the interesting ones. And then when we do our roll up of like our best of the last 6 months, which is coming up, Xander. We need to do our like first
yeah,
half of 2025. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm gonna pop into the Gonculator and see which ones stand out from a impact perspective and stuff. And it might be games we haven't covered yet, but hey, let's talk about these. And if they're two player, well, let's fucking play them, Xander.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
fucking
I'm here
play them,
for it.
dude.
But going
Dude,
back to
yeah.
the Dead Seat,
So yeah. There's not a whole lot of like different pictures or anything in the description. But it does say that like your handheld gaming beginning to mirror reality. So I think you're like sitting in the back seat of a car
hmm
playing a game. Like I mean, I did that as a kid.
yeah, it's a first person view game, like first person view, but like things in the game, like on your DS, start to kind of like change what's around you.
You're
So
like this playing the game, but you can like look around.
yeah, but you see,
Oh,
but you see the game itself in like a 16-bit style, like retro aesthetic on the DS. Like it's kind of
yeah.
a
So
really interesting
it's
like
like the
horror.
controls look like an NES on the because it's not dual screen, but it's like
Yeah,
the other it's your controls. But I guess you could because it's first person, you could like look around away from the handheld, and then like reality turns into it. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
That's
It's
yeah,
really interesting.
100% needs to be wish listed, which it is now. Um, Curious Fox Sox is the developer. There are a couple other games. Or one other game. It's called Death's Toll that they have, and it looks very cartoonish. No time to waste. Very cartoonish. I say that, and then when they showed up, it's pixelated. Hmm. It's a
Yeah,
$10
it
game.
looks fun.
Looks like a Survivor like too. So I love going down the rabbit hole of the developers to see what else they offer us. To me, though, the Dead Seat looks like something that's just a different way to play a game, and it's unique. And it reminds me a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's when you're like constantly trying to make sure. I guess now you have to do it
Yeah,
but you get a retro game on top of it.
yeah.
So, like, there's a spot where you're showing the character, and there's like something coming out of Stranger Things coming after you, and I'm like, if that shit happens in first person, oh,
It's pretty cool.
that
Pretty cool.
seems that seems cool as shit, man. Oh, dude,
Wow.
excited for it. Excited for it. Dude, it's like I like the new setup that I have here because now I can literally like and wish list as we go, so I don't have to go back and remember to go back.
Yeah,
It's good.
I do the same thing like because of my dual screen setup. Like when we talk about games, I'm like, oh, wish list, wish list. I mean, oh my gosh, dude, it's crazy to think since I got the mini PC how much my wish list has like tripled in size. Because it was one time I had like 15 games on my wish list. Now it's like 44 and
Oh
counting
my
now.
gosh.
Yeah,
That's it?
so yeah,
That's it? Mine is 1,379, Xander. That's the wish
jeez,
list. And so that's how many games we haven't covered on the
yeah,
podcast. And because the thing is, though, is that I go down and I'll wish list lots of stuff. And when it comes down under the budget, I will take a chance at the budget. And then I will buy if it's like developer I know, or we're gonna play it for something, or I'm gonna cover it in a book or something. But that's why I wish list like so many Metroidvania Zelda likes cool ass retro looking things.
Well, it's just a way to hold on to it too, because a lot of these games, I mean, even some of the games that we've covered in our past episodes, it sometimes they go in and out of the ether of your mind because you just have so much going
That's
on in life. So,
100%.
if anything, this shows a great way for us to like kind of document our indie gaming journey, you know?
No, it's cool as shit, and it's a way to like just have cool memories on what we've seen in this place and time, what's going on, because things move so fast,
Yeah.
and life moves fast, and we're both busy as hell during our normal work week, so it's time to like get away from it for a little bit, for an hour or less, and
Yeah.
like talk some indie, see if there's something out there like Pipistrello that I'll probably continue to play while I'm waiting for my household goods to arrive. As I lay on the ground. I don't know.
Hey, you're gonna be gaming old school, you know, when we used to sit on the floor and just be like in a little ball playing your
Yeah.
Steam Deck or something, you know, playing your
Well,
Switch
and
too.
that's why the episodes a few weeks back at the time of this recording now, but a few weeks back were a little slower because I have to literally go upstairs and sit on a cushion to work on the laptop that actually I upload from. So
Oh yeah. Well, you
mm,
know, I think this is a good way to wrap up.
yeah,
Yeah.
time to wrap
And,
up. Yeah.
and you know what that means? We need to thank our executive producers from I know I did it right this time. I did it right this time.
Aha.
Didn't say exclusive, but executive.
Wilson.
And and again, folks, you can join Jeff's Patreon for free, and it's a great way to be updated on everything that's going on because
Well, and the
that's
best thing is that every quarter for the producers and above, the executive producers, I'm doing a crazy ass book cover for. The producers, I'm doing a quarterly item, and we had talked about it, and I have them, and they're right behind me, so I could grab them and show the executive producers what they are getting. I'm finishing them up now, and I got these awesome ass Mortal Kombat coasters that I'm working on. We
so
got four
cool.
right now. If y'all join, you could be a fifth or a sixth. As you see, these ones are brown still because I haven't actually inked them. Um,
Still
and
cool
I
though.
had to move in between, so I'm working on it. But yeah, so let's name off our executive producers.
All right, first one's going to be Akaroth.
No, it'd be cool if I had them all named on the bag. I
That
don't.
would be cool.
And then we got David Isherwood.
And Lunchbox, aka the disgruntled gamer from Thunderdome Gaming Society.
And of
Oh,
course, Jesse Glenn is not
Jesse
written on
Glenn.
there. He has been hunting because again, we talked with y'all. He's been hunting in television and ColecoVision recently, and
Ooh,
I think he willed it and he found it on Marketplace and in television with some games. And I saw a console box of the ColecoVision when I was at the Midnight Games place. So I took a picture and sent it over to him. I'm like, hey, bro. So if he wants me to go pick it up again, it's like an hour and a half away. Hey, bad. I would go pick it up for
yeah,
one. Because that's the thing. It's a big community, and in reality, like everything I do at Higgins Alley is hipster artists, including
yeah,
podcasts, including everything. This podcast will grow, but we're not going to change the way we do things. Like
yeah.
it's
It's
going
just
to
the way.
be.
This is just something that we like to do. That's fun. We like to talk about indie
Exactly.
games, and you know, in a world where everyone's talking about like, you know, is there a gaming crash? You know, what's going on with gaming, dude? There's no crash here. Like
Dude,
we crash
infinite
because
game,
there's so many games.
infinite
Yeah,
games. Like, and I mean, I do this type of stuff because it's fun. I make the books because it's fun. I shoot the shit with Xander because it's fun. Like that's it.
yeah,
Like it's if it becomes crazy, that's when it's time to move on. And or if I can't handle it with my current job, like the
yeah,
publishing. I was like, well, I can't maintain that and support all the customers, so move it to a different owner, and I will continue to make crazy ass books. And there is an Indie Gaming Gems book still in the works. I am working on it slowly. It'll be done slowly. And I have all 100 games that I'm doing already pinked out. They're already kind of covered, but at the time it comes out, it'll be like a year or two after we had talked about them. So it'll be cool,
yeah.
nostalgic look back, and maybe we can cover them again. And then we move on to the next one. It's just a weird way to do a book like that. And I think it's kind of cool.
It
And
is.
um, I've already changed how I'm going to format some stuff because I'm thinking of a retro zine perspective. So right now it's just reviews and lots of cool ass art. I want to put in some personal conjecture in there.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I think
like
that would
I
be
want to,
good.
I got to do a shout out box somewhere on each review because each review is going to be 2 pages. There's going to be 2 page art spread with the details, and 2 page review. But I think in that review, I need personal conjecture in there, like not
Well,
just about the game.
And the close off, it gives me a really good idea that I'm going to mention. It kind of materialize it, so it gives me imp to actually do this. But you
Hmm,
know, I've been thinking about making like a YouTube video about indie games, but indie games
you
that made
should.
me nostalgic. Okay.
Ooh.
Because, we cover I've covered nostalgic, my favorite NES games, Super Nintendo games, but there's some indie games that, I look back and I'm like, wow, that was 15 years ago, you
I have
know?
a section for that in the book. I can't remember what I called them. I have a section. I have really cool ass names for all the little chapters.
Yeah.
But that chapter is like they're the ones that were the groundbreaking ones. So if you think about like a Super Meat Boy, Castle
Mm,
Crashers, Shovel Knight, a lot of these indie games like created the bedrock that the rest are built upon.
yeah.
And I'm not sure if I used bedrock, if I used that in the name. I can't, I literally can't remember. But I have a section of it, and the thing is, there's so many that I'm covering like a few in each one. Like, and I'll have plenty for the next section too. Let me see, where is it? So I have 10 influential legends, is what I called it.
Oh, I like
Um,
that.
Influential legends, because I have one, two, three, four, five, six different sections in the Indie Gaming Gems book, split out by what they are, kind of like what we do with the podcast. And then there's the legends at the end.
Hmm.
So that gets you to an even 100 because it's 15 on each, and then it gets you to 90 games, and then there's 10 legendary games. Like there's like anticipated games, games that people were fucking excited about, breakout hits, games that surprised you and they broke out and they were a hit. Innovative and unique games, critically acclaimed, ones that everybody loved, retro inspired, uh,
Yeah.
and uh, and those that have a cult following. And it may not be like crazy ass cult followings because then the influential legends, your vampire survivors, are at a different tier. They're the
Yeah.
ones that transcend. So, and they're all going to be about what we have covered within the last year. So it's like there's some games in there that I'm working into these sections, which is going to be fun to do. And
Yeah.
it's just a cool ass thing, cool ass little end part of the podcast here to talk about too, because I don't think we really went into details on the book and how that's going to unfold.
Yeah. That sounds
Gonna
really
take some time.
interesting.
Gonna take some time though, because I'm finishing up Switch Year 3, which I finished during the break two, working on Turbo. I have a
Mm.
guy, I have not a guy, a community that really wants me to finish the Metroidvania Chronicles. They to do a third volume, and I have a guy. That's where the guy came in that did art already for the limited slipcase that looks freaking awesome. I had to come
Uh,
up with the games I wanted to cover. I'm like, all right, here are the games I want to cover. I haven't started. He's like, oh, well, we could like I could hire out some people. I'm like, bro, like I haven't even started the book. It's gonna take like a year, so or
yeah.
longer. Yeah. I'm always working on tons of books, but the Switch, the Metroidvanias, the complete series are fun. Indie games, and then I want to do a Retro Zam book. Like I got
Yeah.
like that many books coming. They'll materialize. Took me 8 years to do Sega Genesis, so I mean, you all see how that turned out. Freaking awesome. So
Oh, yeah.
it's it's one of those, and I don't even know if Xander's read his yet because I don't know if he has it yet, but he will soon.
I have to complete SNES. I don't have the Genesis one yet. I get
Yeah,
the
because
get the
I've been
SNES.
mailing them out, but I also had to move. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I have a few at the house. But either way, I think it's a time to transition.
Oh yeah. And as always, guys, we want to thank you again for listening, and we hope that you have some more games on your wish list. As we're recording again, I there's like 2 days away from the Steam Summer Sale. So by the time you're listening to this episode, tell us some games that you bought on the Steam sale that just were awesome that maybe we should check out and we can make another episode. But anyway, as always, guys, happy gaming and support indie.